So I'm there. I'm having a flashback. What I can see skunk cabbage and sword ferns. Trilliums. I don't know if you have ever been in a bog. I've been in a bog. I'm talking about massive tadpoles. I'm talking about moss-covered logs that are your only safe place. A story about a mythical island called Insula. This island that existed, supposedly, in antiquity, was surrounded by stormy, tumultuous seas. In the middle of this island there was a citadel. Within the citadel there was a very ancient tree. The fruit that grew from this tree was a magical fruit. Whoever should harvest this fruit would have in his hand a fruit that if he ate it, any wish he had would come true. This was Insula.
I want to live in a place where people wear these hats, so I will play Insula. I will look in the rule book and I will see pictures about how to play, and I will see pictures about how to feel when I'm playing this game, Insula.
But wait! There was a beast that guarded the tree. This beast, he suffered from a very great greed and jealousy. So great was his greed and jealousy of the tree itself that he guarded, that he cursed the land and all its inhabitants. He cursed the shrubbery and the trees. He cursed the beings of that land, who were called guardians. So anyone who should come to this land, to venture, to seek the citadel, to pursue the tree and its miraculous fruit, should have to contend with those cursed beings, those cursed shrubs and trees. Who could make it? I do not know.
I will play with other people when I play, and when I play I will move to explore the island. I will try not to explore the island by going against the thorns, because if I do that I will have to deal with curses such as this wild rage here. There are different icons that represent actions, and if you get a curse you have to choose one of those actions and cover it up, which means you can't do that action, which is really not very fun, especially when you cover up several actions. In order to get rid of a curse, you have to bring it into play, which hurts you and it could hurt everyone around you.
What's the greatest thing you would encounter? Really? Why are you so afraid? I fell off one time. I fell off of a log into the bog. And I'll never forget that day. I'm 31. I'll never forget the day that I went down.
Whenever I land on a space with these eyebrows, I will draw a guardian from the bag and I will fight it at the end of the round if I still remain in its square when play gets to the player with the fifth card. I will resolve fights the way I'm supposed to resolve fights. I will determine how much energy I will put into the fight, knowing full well that that energy will go into my depleted circle at the end of the fight. I will also play a card, if I want, in order to help with the fight. Now I can play a card that either helps with the fight, or I could play a card that is just a decoy, that is just pretending to help with the fight. Why would I want to do that? Well, I'd want to do that if, say, I have a friend also helping with the fight. I can bluff and pretend as though I'm going to help more than I want to. Each player will have this card, this vain violet, that they can use to pretend to help even if they're not helping.
Would you dare to take off your shoes and put your feet deep, deep, deep down into the sludge? Or would it take your friend tripping you? Would it take your brother pushing you off the log? You'd be better off if you just went there yourself.
And that's kind of how this game is. It's cooperative, but also not so cooperative. Whoever, you can either win as a team and have to share the fruit of wishes, or you can win on your own and not have to share it at all. The game has a narrative that extends outside itself. The cooperative part is that someone has to win the game before it gets nightfall, or else whoever's on the island of Insula is become one of King Gosh's guardians and will be put into this black bag. But you have to determine whether or not it is worth it to you to accept a lesser victory and a life without accolades in exchange for survival. Just as you have to decide whether or not you trust those who explore with you the swamps and jungles and colorful places that are Insula.
And you're traversing this swamp that it's scary, but it's beautiful. And you see things you've never seen before. You see ooze and goo, and you see like little tiny murky things that shouldn't be there.
This game, with its conical hats and weapons that are flowers, is aware that it doesn't exist outside its own objectivity, outside its own material. It knows that the stuff it's made out of and the way it looks is as integral a part of what it is as the mechanics that drive it. I will play Insula because I live in this world, but also because I want to live in the world where I can reach out and obtain that fruit of fulfilled wishes while wearing a conical hat and wielding a flower.